Hey there, Tom family. It is great to be with you again for another edition of Tom Talk. And today we're blessed to be joined by one of our big hitters, one of our heavy hitters, as I call him, Joe Savala, who's one of our loan advisors out of our Red Oak office. And Joe, it's just great to have you on Tom Talk.
Hey, thanks a lot, Michael. I appreciate the opportunity.
Of course, man. So I think we're looking at a now two-time winner of the President's Club Award. Is that right?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Awesome, man. And based upon what I continue to see in the production, I think we'll be seeing a three-time winner of the President's Club Award, and that surprise will be forthcoming as to where we'll be going next April. So, Joe, I just appreciate all the work you continue to do. You've been a great growth story, just from your time when you started here and where you are today, a real testament to how you do things the right way. So, just based upon that, how did you get started in this business?
It was actually just kind of one of those things by accident. I was always in the retail business, and back in 2005, one of my district managers, I was working at Walgreens drugstore as an assistant store manager, trying to work my way up the ranks. And it's funny because I trained with him here in Fort Worth. He was working at my store, and we ended up relocating to San Antonio. And what do you know? He's the district manager down there.
Oh, wow.
So he was down there, decided to leave, and obviously he was heading up a new group with his company and was wanting people that he kind of knew. Of course, he didn't know anybody really in San Antonio, and he's like, "Man, I remember you back from when you were training us, helping train. So would you like an opportunity?" And I was like, "You know what? Never thought about it, but hours are a lot better than kind of retail. So I had to work a lot of
It's true.
one of the things like with Walgreens, which is awesome, it's a health, for health, but it's
Sure.
24/7, 365. So got the opportunity, just thought it was one of those ones that, prayed about it and talked to my wife, and it just made sense for our family to give it a shot. And here we are, some 16 years later, been in the mortgage industry. So,
That's great, man. So you are truly a mortgage banker now. So how long have you been with Trinity Oaks, though? Talk to us about that.
yes, sir. I've been with Trinity Oaks for 3.5 years.
Awesome. Awesome, man. So, 16 years in the mortgage business. You've continued to grow here at Trinity Oaks over the last 3.5 years. You're one of our top producers. Um, I always encourage anyone I come into contact with that if you don't have a mentor, get a mentor. So, talk to me. Do you have a mentor? And who is it?
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Daniel Campa, my branch manager. Man, he's just been an amazing guy. I mean, as far as just a mortgage guru overall. And there's always things that come up. And, I can always go to him and ask him for advice. And, hey, what do you think about this scenario or this particular relationship? This is kind of what's going on. And just giving, honest feedback and just communication. I think that's one of the biggest things that really separates him. Is never too busy to not help anybody. Is always there for myself and other loan officers as well. Just people in our company overall that will come to him. And just a great guy, somebody to look up to the way he
Yeah.
handles himself.
I agree. I look up to Daniel. I don't know how he does what he does, but he's pretty amazing. And the fact that I've come across many of these interviews already, and he continues to be who people go to and a mentor. And so Daniel's doing great things, and I think that's great, Joe. I want you to continue to press yourself, and I always want to make sure that people are always trying to sharpen their saw a little bit more, and mentorship is one of those things. I would encourage you to become a mentor if you're not already. It's a great way for you to be able to give back, but also for you to continue to grow and develop. So, you've been in this business for 16 years. You're now a top producing loan advisor here at Trinity Oaks Mortgage. What advice would you give to somebody who's thinking about entering this business?
That would be that's a good one. I would think the biggest thing is just learn. Continue to learn. Continue to just work on your craft, communicate. I think that's one of the biggest things that I've come across speaking with, some of my business partners that for some reason that gets lost in throughout the process, and I'm not sure why that kind of happens with loan officers. So just being able to communicate, I think, is really what sets us apart. Myself, and now I actually have a team,
Yeah.
and that's the biggest focus. That I'm always harping on. We're going to communicate, and then when we get done communicating, we're going to communicate some more.
Yep.
So we want to touch, our clients and see how see how it's going through their process. Our partners, realtors, builders, anybody that's sending us referrals, just letting them know, hey, this is where we're at. This is what we're trying to do, what we're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
And I feel like the more that you can communicate, the better it is for you. And if you end up having a team, in fact, we've actually picked up some business from other agents that were on the opposite side of the transaction, selling the house to my buyers, and they're just like, you're communicating with us, and it's like this is exactly what we do with ours, and they're like, that just doesn't happen a lot. So
That's
I
great.
think that's the biggest thing for myself is I would just say, being out there, obviously try to form relationships, but also just communicating. And when you get done communicating, communicate some more.
Yeah, no, that's great advice, and I'm so glad to hear that because our mission is to reach people for Christ, all people for Christ, and to give back to the kingdom. And so I love the fact that through our communication, through our generous love, through our relentless pursuit of excellence, second mile service, and honest communication, we're reaching the other real estate agents that we may not necessarily have a relationship with today, but we can build on that. So that's great, great advice. Yeah, I'll tell you. You know, I've been so encouraged about the number of people that are wanting to enter this industry. And it just, I want to be able to eventually, I want to see colleges get more involved in this. I want to see colleges start to promote mortgage, not just as a piece of the financial sector, but almost as a standalone, because it's interesting. We all landed here. And it
Right.
wasn't because we took mortgage classes, right? But somehow, some way, we found our way here, and it's a great industry. I think it's an industry that you're never done learning. You're always learning. I mean, I feel
Amen.
like every single day, I'm learning something from you. I'm learning something from Daniel. I'm learning something from my peers. And it's just an evolving, great industry. And so we're very fortunate to be a part of it. What do you feel are differences between you and your competitors?
I'm always available, and the biggest thing, communicating. Just having honest conversations. I mean, obviously there always something that there's always something that comes up, whether it might be a delay on an appraisal or something that could eventually hold us back a little bit. So just being at the forefront and saying, hey, this is where we're at, this is the ETA on when it's supposed to be completed, and making sure that the biggest thing is making sure we close on time. That's going to be the key.
Yeah,
And I think that's the biggest thing for me is just communicating. Even when something does come up that's not in the best, light for us on the file for whatever reason, unfortunately, monkey wrenches get thrown in to your scenario. But be able to work through it and give them that information immediately and say, hey, unfortunately, this is what's come up. This is what we're trying to work on getting solved, or this is my plan. I already have a plan put together,
right.
and
That's
this is
good.
where we're at.
No, that having a plan is key. And um, operating in a no surprise rule environment, whether the news is good or whether the news is bad, just let's deliver the news. And I know in the end, we may get a little bit of an earful, but I think the customer is going to appreciate the honest communication at all times. And that's why we live that as a core value each day, so that we operate under that and we keep our customers in the loop during the manufacturing process. And I love the fact that you say I'm always available. I think that's an important thing. Obviously, you have a family and you want to take care of that family, but being there for your customer, for your referral partner is an important differentiator between you. And I love the fact that you're building a team.
Yes,
That's
sir.
awesome. Tell me about the team. I know you've got a team member, so let's talk about your team member for a second.
Yes, sir. So brought on Michaela Manjarez in March. She's my super assistant.
Yeah,
So she does a great job as far as facilitating, make sure we have our documentation, just different pieces that we're going to need throughout the loan process.
yeah,
Communicating with our clients as well. and keeping me updated kind of on our pipeline, where we're at. We're looking at it constantly. Hey, how are we looking on this appraisal? Did this appraisal get ordered? How's the file moving? Are we on track? Is there anything else we need? So she's doing an outstanding job, kind of helping with the paperwork side, administrative part, and then just keeping me grounded. Hey, this is what's come in recently. We had another application. Yeah, I've already called them. This is kind of where we're at. You need to reach out to them immediately, or this person's walked in and dropped off documents. So this is where we're at. So she's doing a really great job for myself and just kind of helping me ride the ship. So we're really excited about her and her future with our company. And then also we just brought on Anthony LaForge.
Yeah.
He's going to be he's a loan officer working under my team, and just a great future. He's actually been in the banking industry on the mortgage side, so he has a lot of years of experience, and he's just kind of getting his feet wet as far as in the industry. So it's really amazing. He's been with us now for, this is going to be a second month, but just seeing him grow and just being with him and helping mentor him, and going out and showing him, hey, this is kind of how I handled this situation. Or if you have anything small with the file, he had a file that, unfortunately, it looks like it was going to be dead. And I was like, oh, we can, that's an easy fix. This is what we're going to do. And he's like, oh my God, we saved a deal. And, it's just those things, just kind of learning. But having somebody to lean on, that can say, I've had that problem. I've
Yeah.
had that issue. It can be fixed. And this is how we're going to fix it. But it's just great seeing them out there, provide that level of customer service that I expect. And that's one thing I told him, on our team was like, hey, man, this is what's going to differentiate us. And he's doing a great job. He's based out of Red Oak as well. He's a native of Ennis.
Yeah.
So he's working with a lot of agents out there. But it's funny because we were speaking yesterday, and he was telling me that one of his competitors out there, he doesn't have many, but he was speaking with a group, a realtor group, and they were like, they're not getting back with us. And like, you're answering the phone at 6:30 at night. He's like, that's what we do. We're gonna answer the phone, and we're gonna communicate with you. And I told him, I said, that's, I think, the key, in my opinion, and that's what has helped me grow my business overall as well.
That's good, man. No, I love hearing, our EVP of production, Todd Reynolds, talks about it all the time. You know, there's a clear maturation process of a loan advisor, a loan officer, and that is when they quit working, in their business and they start working on their business. And it's very clear to me that that's what you're doing, Joe. You've got team members now that are helping you keep your eye out in the in front of you instead of you having to turn around and look behind you. That's great. So big days ahead for sure, it sounds like. So
Yes.
what are some of the challenges you faced when you first started out?
Man, I think for me, especially when it came to Tom, I'd always been in the banking, like a call center type environment. Then I was working at a credit union for, prior to this, for the previous 8 years. So obviously, you just have customers coming through the door.
Yeah.
And it's, for me, when I came here, I actually only really knew one realtor. I mean, I'd seen realtors on Facebook, things like that, but didn't have any relationships with them. Had one realtor I was kind of, sending referrals to when they would come in at the credit union, like, hey, this person needs help. So I think that for me, that was the biggest thing, is trying to forge relationships. But so that was a little bit, I think, it was a little bit difficult, trying to figure out what can I do to just get the opportunity. So for me, it was calling realtors, going to visit builders, and stopping by, working open houses, anything I can do, just have an opportunity to show my worth, and just letting them know, hey, I have plenty of years experience. You ever have any questions about any programs, let me know. And then also just keeping them up to date. Hey guys, this is a new program that just came out that we have, or hey, a guideline changed and now credit score is a little bit lower, or we can do this. And I think just being the resource for your partners, because I mean, unless they're in the mortgage industry, they don't really know everything that's going on in regards to these different program changes. And I think just giving them the information of what changes are going on or programs you have, it's huge.
Yeah,
And that has helped me tremendously.
just good old fashioned kicking the tires, right? Getting out there, getting your name out there, building a brand.
Yes, sir.
doing a lot of work just to get those people saying the name Joe Savala. And
Go with Joe. That's our
there
slogan. Go
you
with
go.
Joe.
Go with Joe.
Like that?
I love it. Well, hey, I have loved this conversation, man. And I think the people that are going to get the opportunity to listen to this are going to love it too. Joe, we're thankful to have you. Just so appreciate the work you do every day, the leadership you bring. And congratulations on success so far. And I'm just going to go ahead and say congratulations on future success because you're a guy that's working on your business. So thank you very much, buddy.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.